Hi guys, so today I wanted to go over some issues that are in our science community. Since we are in our government unit, I did not want to shy away from some of the things that we would normally talk about if we were in school. And some of those would be just some issues that we are facing in our science community altogether. So today I'm going to go over 4 different issues. One is one that I'm really passionate about, maternal mortality. The second one is going to be childhood obesity. The third one is going to be gun violence. And lastly, the fourth one is climate change. All of these are issues in the science and our healthcare communities. So your lesson objective for this week is going to be students will be able to understand the issue facing our country today, research that issue. I'm going to already provide you with those issues and provide you with a claim, but then you're going to have to use that information to provide evidence to later make a call to action for our government and give them some kind of recommendation. All right. So the first one I'm going to talk to you guys about is maternal mortality. And if you guys have never heard about this, it's really interesting and it's something that's facing our community just all over the world. Really all over the United States is where it's the most important and the highest rates there. More U.S. women are dying from pregnancy or childbirth complications today than in recent history. A report published in the September issue of the Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology found that from 2000 to 2014, the maternal mortality rate for 48 states and Washington, D.C. increased 27%, from close to 19 deaths per 100,000 live births to close to 24 deaths per 100 live births. So it increased drastically. These rates also reveal troubling racial disparities. In the past 5 decades, Black women have consistently experienced an almost 4-fold greater risk of death from pregnancy complications than white women. This increased risk is independent of age, parity, or education. The CA Department of Public Health itself found that the mortality rate for Black women was 46 deaths of every 100,000 live births from 2006 to 2008, while the rates for Asian, white women, Hispanic women in that same period ranged from only 9 to 13 per 100,000 deaths, live births. I'll go back and I'll repeat that for you in case you missed it. 46 deaths for Black women versus 9 to 13 deaths for Asian, white, and Hispanic women combined. In recent years, as high rates of maternal mortality in the U.S. have alarmed researchers, one statistic has been especially concerning according to the CDC. Black mothers in the U.S. die at 3 to 4 times the rate of white mothers, one of the widest of all racial disparities in women's health. Put another way, a Black woman is 22% more likely to die from heart disease than white women, 71% more likely to perish from cervical cancer, but 243% more likely to die from pregnancy or childbirth-related causes in a national study of 5 medical complications that are common cause of maternal mortality and injury. Black women were 2 to 3 times more likely to die than white women who had that same condition. And I just want to show you guys some actual research from this. So if you look here, I have an actual chart for you guys. So here, you'll see maternal mortality is rising in the U.S. as it actually declines everywhere else. So this is from the 1990s. This is the U.S. line. And this is everyone else, all the way to 2015. And let's let's look here at just the disparities among everyone. So you have Black women here. This is how many Black women die from actually giving birth to a child. And this is how much white women and women of all races. So this is Asian, Hispanic, everyone put together. And as you can see, the leading cause here is just tragic. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not giving birth to anyone right now. But just think about it. How many of us have parents? Or how many of us have sisters? Or how many of us actually want to give birth ourselves? Or have a wife? Or just like childbirth affects everyone. You may not think that it affects you directly, but it definitely affects you. And think about it. Having a child is something that is really like joyous, right? Oh my goodness, I'm having my first child. It's amazing, etc., etc. And then you go to have your child. You've prepped for this baby. You've had a baby shower. Everyone is just like enjoyed over this, right? And then all of a sudden, you go to the hospital, and then you either come back with no child, or you come back with no mother, or you come back with no child or no mother. It's a serious, serious issue, and it can definitely be stopped. One of the main issues is because lots of doctors do not take women, Black women in general, they don't take us serious. Whenever we say that we are in pain, whenever we say that we have some kind of issue, it's brushed off to the side, and it's not right. It's not right. And these are things that have stemmed from racism. These are things that have stemmed from slavery times. And you would like to think that these kind of things don't happen, but they do. And it's not right. I know it happened to me personally. And my doctor wasn't even white. My doctor was Black, which was the worst part of it all. My first time having a child, which was supposed to be such a joyous occasion for me, I got ready to actually have my child, and I came home without it. And that was something that was very sad for me. And no, this isn't really what maternal mortality is about. It's more so about the mother not coming home, but overall, it's just about women's rights. Women's voice is not being heard, or women's voice is not being taken serious. And it's something that has to change. I'm going to show you guys a video, and I want you guys to just focus on it. And I want you guys to just think about it, and think about how many things that you can change in this. Think about what kind of recommendations that we can make to our government, that we can actually send to them and say, hey, we cannot do this. We are the leading people. We are the leading country in Western medicine. Why are we still killing women to this day? I want you guys to think about it. Because at one point, you'll have a sister who gets pregnant. You'll have a wife who gets pregnant. And no, they may not be Black. But this goes for everyone. It's a social justice thing. So I want to show you guys this video.
I have to deal every day with the fact that there's nothing that I can do to bring Kira back.
It's amazing. I love you. Many are shocked to learn that the U.S. not only has the worst maternal mortality rate in the entire developed world, but that these rates are on the rise.
It was very possible that I wouldn't have made it. And the casualness by which the medical establishment treats something like that, it's like a second trauma.
The United States is one of very few countries in total, and the only developed nation with a rising maternal mortality rate.
Where is that, Rayburn? That's right next door, right?
That's where we came
from. Okay. Yeah, I got helping members of Congress to see the women that are dying, the way that they would see their mothers and their daughters and their wives. As I'm sitting there, I look down and I see the catheter coming from her bedside begin to turn pink with blood. This is in the late afternoon, around between 4 and 5 o'clock. I'm concerned, but Kira's healthy, the baby's healthy. 7 o'clock comes, 8 o'clock comes, no CT scan. And at this point, we're begging, we're pleading, look, do something, please. Like, you can see that things are getting worse. It wasn't until after midnight that they finally took Kira back for surgery. Finally, they came over, and the same 2 residents, along with the doctor who I'd never seen before, came through those doors, and they told us that she was gone. There was nothing that they could do to save her.
No hay nada como el café de Puerto Rico. We had a date. Everybody was planning to come for that date. But then I got preeclampsia. You know, and after about 20 hours, they finally decided that we had to do a cesarean. When I was back in my room, I started having problems with fevers. And they had said, oh, you have a urinary tract infection. And then within 3 hours of being home, I started spiking a terrible, terrible fever. I just had a massive infection of the wound, you know, the incision, a massive, you know, I had an infection of the uterus. At one point I stood up and the entire incision ripped open and like blood started pouring out. It was like a horror movie.
Charles really gives everyone the opportunity to see beyond the numbers. But Charles gives us the opportunity to understand the real impact that happens to fathers, to husbands, to families when we lose the life of a mother.
Hi. The only pictures that I have of Kira, so this is actually of Kira and Langston, is when, you know, he's in that blanket. Yeah. My older son, Charles, who's 4 years old now, he said to me, Daddy, I'm ready for mommy to come out of the sky. And as much as I tried to explain to him that mommy's not coming home, and I try and rationalize with his little mind why mommy can't come to his soccer games or why she's not there for the first day of school like his other friends' mothers, his little heart still has a void that I'll never be able to fill. Roberto, yes. And it haunts me, the fact that if she had been Caucasian, she might have been taken back to the OR an hour later, 2 hours later, that they might have made a little bit more effort to save her life, and that she would be here with her sons today. That's a difficult thing to process, and that's extremely painful.
I want you guys to process that because that was a lot. I'm going to show you guys a picture. So this little baby belongs to one of my associate's friends. Her name is Tamara. And Tamara actually went into the hospital to have her. They ended up saying that she needed to have an emergency cesarean. and she did not leave the hospital. Tamara passed away while giving birth to her baby. And now her baby has to live without ever knowing her mom. And this is something that is like seriously a problem. If you guys think about like how crucial it is and how vital your parents are, but even more so how vital your mom is in your life, and to know that you have to grow up without one of those, just think about it. So this is one of the issues. I'll go over the other issues later on. Thanks, guys.